Hey everybody, Dave here, and this is another product review. In this particular product review, we're going to be taking a look at the March 2015 13th Age Monthly PDF, and it is called Candles, Clay, and Dancing Shoes. And it is by Ash Law, and the 13th Age Monthly product is a subscription service that they have for $24.95 a year, and you get one PDF every month at the end, and also you get some other perks as well, such as being able to download all of the public play PDFs. You know, that massive Underdark adventure by Ash Law, you get to download all of that stuff for free. Now, if you don't want to purchase all of the PDFs for $24.95 for the year, you can buy each one individually at $2.95. And also, if you are a subscriber for a year to renew, I got a coupon for $5 off the next year. So I don't know if that's going to be a continuing trend from 13th Age. I hope it is. So that would knock the price down for $20 for the second year. So hopefully they continue that $5 off coupon every year. That was actually pretty nice. So Candles, Clay, and Dancing Shoes. It is an 8-page PDF. It is beautifully done. It is official 13th Age, canon that you can put into your 13th Age game. Now, Candles, Clays, and Dancing Shoes. This PDF is all nothing but magic items, and there are 6 new magic items, and that is what the entire PDF consists of for 8 pages. Now, for each one of these magic items, that has the full description of the magic item, or chakras they're called in 13th Age. It also has the cost, and it also has, for each magic item, 13 things about this item, basically hook points on where these items originate, and great plot points they are to put into your 13th Age adventure. So to get started, the first item is called the Black Light Candle, and it is a one-use item. It costs 50 gold for a 10-minute candle, plus an extra 10 gold for each 10 minutes of extra life after that you want. And this is where the wax is black, the light itself is invisible. So when lit, this candle burns with a very bright light. It is more of a flare than a candle, though the light can only be seen by the one holding the candle. So that is pretty nice. That's sort of like maybe a built-in dark vision, because there are no visions in 13th Age. Everybody is on the same playing field, so if you have a black light candle, you'll be able to see down that dark dungeon corridor. Really nice. So it also has, like I said, there's a cost of 50 gold, and then it has some other prices you can adjust if you want a longer lasting black light candle. And then here are 13 stories about black light candles, some of which might even be true. And I like the sense of humor that 13th Age has as well. It's really good. So one of these origins of the black light candles could be a dark paladin of the Crusader, which is one of the icons. Lady Christabel Burdett is looking for adventurers to join her on an expedition to Starport. She promises to pay her hirelings in black light candles. That would be a pretty good plot point. Another one is, take one for random, let's see. The fumes from blacklight candles cure the contagion that was unleashed by the Diabolist at the end of the 12th Age. Very nice. Capture the contagion. Now, the next item is going to be the Clay of Life, and you can see there's some nice art with someone messing with the Clay of Life, creating a flesh golem. The Clay of Life sounds interesting, doesn't it? This reddish clay knits together wounds when applied, though it has more unsavory uses, such as creating flesh golems. Now, the item itself is, when used to stabilize a dying person, it adds 5 to the roll and lets them spend a free recovery if the roll is successful. Clay of Life can be used to reattach severed limbs, even by those without the ability to magically heal others, provided the limb is fresh. So the limb's got to be fresh. Creating flesh golems or doing tricky non-magical surgery with this clay requires many doses. The clay works by bonding to wounds and transforming into new flesh. And each one of these, basically one of these doses of clay, is 200 gold per dose. So here's 13 tales about the clay and where it comes from. So here's the first one. Clay of life from the red waste acts like normal clay of life, but wounds healed by it feel like they are burning when near the influence of the elf queen. Or maybe oh, this is a good one here. Yeah, Father Cestus of the Temple of Fire in Santa Cora holds that clay of life is in fact leftover fundament from the creation of the world, literally unbaked and unshaped divine clay. His sermons have convinced some young clerics to start experimenting with the clay in secret. So as you can see, they give you a lot, 13 different hooks on each item. I mean, it's great. I love this. Dancing shoes. These shoes have one good dance left in them, but what a dance it is. These shoes allow the wearer to dance excellently once, then they burst into flames. What about doing a dance and then all of a sudden the shoes burst into flames? I love it. Now the damage is going to be 1d6 ongoing for 3d4 rounds, quick action to take them off. Now, while wearing the shoes, the wearer gains +5 to skill rolls involving dancing before bursting into flames the second the wearer stops dancing. If used in combat, the wearer automatically succeeds at their first disengage check, then they start taking the ongoing fire damage when they burst into flames. So that is very awesome. Dancing shoes are going to cost you 50 gold per pair. Now, there's 13 stories told about dancing shoes, which you probably overheard in tavern discussions. Now, there's a couple that involve dwarves, and these are actually pretty good. So, the first one is dancing shoes feature heavily in dwarven history. The story goes that when dwarves first came to the surface, the valleys around Forge, which is a city, were dangerous, and runners from distant villages would warn of danger by dancing on high places so that their burning shoes could be seen, and the dwarves would march to the rescue. Dwarves can get very upset at those who disrespect dancing shoes. You can also give a gift of dancing shoes to a dwarf, and that is definitely a way to win you a friend for life. Very good, I like it. Now there's also dancing shoes were made by a lame warlock to punish those who felt he were mocking him by dancing. Very cool, I like that. 13 great ways about incorporating dancing shoes. Exorcist Missile. This is definitely another very good, interesting one-use item. This ethereal arrow passes straight through solid foes, but strikes ethereal enemies. You can tell an Exorcist Missile by the fish carved on the shaft. The talismancer who makes these lives in Full Catch Bay, and it is his way of signing his handiwork. Now, here's the stats for the arrow. This arrow or crossbow bolt does double damage against enemies that are ethereal, that are spirits, or that are ghosts, as well as Dybbuk's and shadow dragons. This arrow only does half damage against solid foes. A critical hit against a character possessed by a Dybbuk will force the demonic menace out of the body. Very nice way to have a cleansing, huh? The arrow does not expand your crit range, and it is only good for one shot, and it is 50 gold per Exorcist Missile. So here's a couple different things that ghost hunters have heard about these arrows. The first one is a servant in Castle Brighthouse, a day north of the city of Concord, was assassinated with an Exorcist Missile. The assassination was meticulously planned, and no expense was spared by the assassin in bribing the guards. The Lady of Brightstone wants to know why a lonely servant was worth the trouble. Here is another one. Let's see. Hunters from the Dire Wood are buying up Exorcist missiles at an alarming rate. What do they know that others do not? Great adventures. Alright, so next is the Featherlight Skirt. This is actually probably one of my, I would have to say this is probably, this and the clay are probably my favorite ones. So useful for high wire performers, mountain climbers, and cat burglars. The magic of this item compresses a lot of silk into a small space. The skirt, dress, or robe puffs out into a huge parachute-like bell of material when the wearer falls, acting like a wizard's feather fall spell. The skirt must be discarded afterwards or perhaps used as a large tent. I love it, ingenious. So the cost is 200 gold pieces for a one-use Featherlight Skirt, or only 75 gold for a second-handed, re-enchanted one that has a 75% chance of working. So sure, if you go to the bargain bin and get a refurbished one, it's going to cost you 75 gold with a 25% chance of failure. So you can also add some bling to these Featherlight Skirts by adding between 10 gold pieces and 200 gold pieces of the price, depending on the style and quality of the bling that you want on the garment. So that's really cool. So here's a brave little tailor once told you some things, 13 things to be exact, about Featherlight Skirts. So the first one is, last month a blessed chalice was stolen from the cathedral. The thief was disguised as a priest, but his robes were feather-like robes. He drifted down outside Santa Cora and escaped with the help of waiting accomplices. A reward for the capture of the thief and the return of the chalice has yet to be claimed. Very nice. That's a great adventure right there in itself. Here's another nice little thing the tailors once told someone. Orcs of the Redhorn tribe live in dwellings made of silk from former Featherlight Skirts. I guess they just collect them, they don't use them. They have a reputation for being among the most fearsome of the northern orc tribes, which makes their pink lace-trimmed yurts even more ridiculous. Mock them to their faces or mention there is anything odd about their dwellings, and they will gut you on the spot. That'd be a great tavern brawl right there. Wow. So anyways, guys, that's the Featherlight shirt. And then the last but not least magic item is the Grave Dust. I like the Grave Dust too, so I think actually I like all 6 of these items. I mean, they're really comedical, actually. Taken from graves of those that had died from dark sorcery, this dust sends others to sleep. Now, the stats are, when used, this dust has a 50% chance of acting like a sleep spell that has a +3 to magical defense attack, targeting up to 1d20 plus 40 hit points worth of enemies. So basically it works sort of basically just like the 5e version of sleep. It basically sleeps a certain amount of hit points that you roll and whatnot, then you have to do the magical defense attack. So now you'll need to blow it into the face of the target for the Grave Dust to function. I like that. One use of Grave Dust is 250 gold pieces. Now the Grave Diggers are the ones that produce this Grave Dust, and here are 13 stories that Grave Diggers tell each other about Grave Dust. Let's see, the Grave Dust can be sprinkled into drinks to reduce the roughness of cheap wine. Most wine merchants know this trick, and many will try to pass the gnomish Tinto wine off as expensive elven wine by putting a pinch of Grave Dust into each barrel. This wouldn't be an issue that would matter much to adventurers, but spellcasters who have drunk too much Tinto or other adulterated wine in their alcohol imbibing careers are sometimes surprised to find that one or more of their spells have been replaced by necromantic spells, usually not to their benefit. What a twist, man. Wouldn't that be so great to do to one of your wizards in the group? That would be great. And then to try to figure out how this happened, and to try to find out some kind of information, of the dust actually put into the wine that he was drinking. That's really good. Now another one is, here's a very good one. Grave Dust is addictive and is rapidly becoming the contraband of choice for the smugglers of Shadowport. The street level dust is actually cut with other substances, none of which are good for you to inhale, and goes for about 5 gold pieces for dose on the streets of Glitterhagen. And I also heard that the first one is always free, even though it doesn't say that in doesn't say that in the PDF. So there you go, guys. 8 pages, 6 magic items: Grave Dust, Featherlight Skirt, Exorcist Missile, Dancing Shoes, Clay of Life, and the Blacklight Candle. So many hook points for all those great items. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please feel to leave a comment down below. Maybe you have an idea for one of these magic items. I'd like to hear it. Put it in the comments section. Also, if you enjoyed the video, please like it. Please thumbs up that video. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. And until next time, happy gaming.